Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rocks with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. Alright, you guys, first story up. Debbie called me yesterday and I was like, it must be a hot story on Instagram, child. I wasn't on social media too much yesterday. I was still trying to work on this budget that I actually am probably going to turn in today. Okay, a day early, child. That ain't never happened in the 14 years that I've been doing it. Anyway, getting back to the story, Debbie told me that Puffy and Cassie broke up. Now, I don't even know if I was all that surprised and shocked. This isn't the first time that they've broken up, okay? As a matter of fact, after countless other breakups, 11 years, 3 new kids, 2 baby mamas, and a partridge in a pear tree. Cassie and Diddy, they say that they have decided to call it quits. According to a spokesperson from her camp, they told blogger Love B. Scott that they have been broken up for some months. They broke up quietly a while ago, and that even Cassie is seeing somebody else. Okay, they're also saying that Diddy is seeing some model by the name of Jocelyn. Now, I know that there was stuff all on Instagram yesterday talking about it, but I didn't really look at any of the stories. But she looks like she might be, she's not black. She looks like she might be Asian, or at least Asian mixed. And that's who they're saying that Bishop, child, that's who they're saying that Puffy ended up with, 26-year-old model Jocelyn. How many of you guys believe that they broke? Well, I believe that they broke up because, like I said, they have broken up and gotten back together in the past. How many of you guys believe that they are going to stay broken up? Now, I have heard that Puffy would like to rekindle the relationship with Cassie, depending on who you ask. She left him, he left her. It doesn't really matter. They're supposedly not together anymore. When you think about their relationship, you can look at it 2 ways. You can say that, you know what, they gave 11 years of their life together. Those 11 years had their ups and downs, but it ran its course, and she decided to move on. He decided to move on. Or you can look at it as, and what I think many people are looking at it as, is that Cassie wasted the good years of her life with a man who had no intentions of marrying her, wouldn't even give her a damn baby, took care of her, did take care of her, but now that they're not together, what does she have to show for it? I don't know if I would say it was a waste. Like I said, these two loved each other for however long that they did. I mean, that's just part of life. You take a gamble. The girl is still young. She's not in her 20s any longer, but she's definitely young enough to still, get these babies out and get engaged and married. Not necessarily in that order, you know what I mean? But she still has time enough to make it happen. Maybe that 11 years was needed for her to learn some things about herself, figure out what she does and doesn't want in a relationship, and do better. They say when you know better, you do better, right? I mean, that could very much be where Cassie is in this whole situation. But time will only tell. I would imagine that it would be hard for somebody like Cassie to be living with Diddy and having all of the extras that come with being Diddy's girl, the positive parts. It's not going to be easy for her to be with anybody else because she's used to a certain way of living. She's used to a certain lifestyle, a certain man. It's not impossible. There's still other millionaires and billionaires out there who I'm sure would be willing to get to know Cassie better. But usually men like Puffy, who are, rumors out there is he's super controlling, and I don't know if he's just gonna willing to just let her go like that. But maybe he will. There's been rumors that they've had fights. We've seen her kind of surface every now and then with a black eye, a busted lip. Remember when she kind of posted some pictures and then tried to say that she was in an accident in Dubai or something like that and had some face damage. We've all heard whispers of stories of Puffy being rough with her. Don't know if they were true or not, but there are stories and whispers around that he has been forceful with them in the past. So it's a lot going on there, and I just don't know. I mean, even if he's seeing somebody else, I'm like, fuck, but ain't Puffy always seeing somebody else? I mean, don't that come with the territory? His main girl was Cassie. Everybody knew it. But, we see him kind of keeping his baby mamas close, has a really close relationship with Naomi Campbell. And it's just interesting, that whole dynamic there. Cassie put up with a lot, and maybe she was just like, fuck it, I can't take it no more. If that's really how she feels, I wish her all the strength of staying strong and being able to keep with her decision, because if she wants to be happy, no amount of money from no man will make her happy. Sometimes you just got to make the decision, and I guess that's what it is. But like I said, time will tell, child. We'll see. Don't be surprised if in a couple of weeks we see him dancing on his damn Instagram and her in the background, shaving her legs in the bathroom or some shit like that. It's happened plenty of times before. But we'll see. We'll see. Do you believe they're broke up? What you think? Conversation with Drake and LeBron. You guys know that LeBron has his show on HBO. I don't even know the name of it. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll put it on the screen. But, it's sort of like barbershop talk. It's a show where men get together in a relaxed barbershop-like setting and just kind of discuss things. So we had this episode where LeBron and Drake discussed, amongst other things, his whole beef with Pusha T. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. I've only seen clips just like you guys have on Instagram. So I'm only going from that part of what I've seen. But my whole thing is, I thought that we had moved past this. Pusha T did the diss record. Drake decided not to respond, whether or not it was from Jay Prince or other people telling him not to respond. Drake admitted that was a direction that he never wanted to go. He didn't want to be that gutter with it. So he decided not to release some diss record that he feels was going, change some lives, was going to wreck some havoc and really fuck the game up. He held that under wraps and decided to quietly take his L. But I'm sure even with him being quiet, he does have an ego. He's supposed to be the greatest rapper out right now, okay? Well, he wants to tell his side of the story. So they did it in a setting where it just looked like he was just talking with his homeboy. And it really seems like the bigger issue wasn't even with Pusha T. The biggest issue was the fact that Kanye West told Pusha T all this information. He goes on to talk about how he basically in confidence told Kanye about his son, issues he was having with the baby mama, helping Kanye out with music. Kanye was supposed to help him out in return, didn't do that. It looked like Kanye used him, then broke the confidence by going and telling Pusha T what Drake had told him. Next thing he knows, a song that Kanye had promised, a beat that Kanye had promised to Drake, now we have Kanye actually releasing a song on that same music, and he's talking, poop-a-doo, scoopy-doo, whatever the fuck it was, and Drake just feeling like, oh damn. Now he realizes that Kanye was trolling him all this time, okay, used him, made fun of him, gave the information to Pusha T. Pusha T put out the diss record, and the rest is history. And he just wanted to tell LeBron his backstory and how it all came about and why he now forever has a problem with Kanye West. I understand, what, Drake is a human being first, right? He wants to defend himself like anybody else would. When you're on such a large scale like this, like I said, he's supposed to be the greatest rapper out right now, right? Okay, so at some point, he wants to clarify what happened. But I think that him doing that just opens up the door to more scrutiny. To me, all this is an overall downer in his rap career. Why keep bringing this up when you obviously lost this particular battle? You are Drake and you got somebody like Pusha T winning a huge battle like this and you don't even respond? You might as well not say anything. Keep that shit quiet. If you're not going to release a song, don't say anything. Because even though I totally get why he did what he did, to many others who are listening, it starts to just seem like you are trying to save face and give all these reasons why you didn't do something. Okay, you Drake. I think that if you would have just kept quiet about it, it would have just sort of been like you just dusted off your shoulder and you just moved on with life. I mean, look at how successful your last release was, compared to Pusha T's. Like, you won in that sense. Okay, yeah, rap purist will say that you lost, and I guess that's the part of him that's really eating at him. But I was just like, why are you bringing all this up again? Like, we done moved on past it. Still don't nobody really know who Pusha T is, and I'm not saying that Pusha T that hasn't had his own success, but just comparatively speaking, you guys, nobody knows who the fuck Pusha T is in comparison to a Drake. No, I'm sorry. That's just what it is. He could be a real great lyricist and rapper and all of that. The two are not comparable. He told his side of the story. Now it done started all this back up again. Now Pusha T is back on Joe Budden's show. He's telling Joe Budden that no, Kanye West didn't tell him anything about the baby, that he actually got that information from Drake's best friend's girlfriend, and that pillow talk was the reason why Pusha T found out, because the girlfriend ran and told Pusha T. Now that doesn't make sense to me, because if this is the girlfriend, or maybe just somebody he's fucking around with, but they made it seem like they were very close and, you know, was more than just a fucking around kind of thing, why would she go back and tell Pusha T any of that? You already know that your man is loyal to Drake. That's his best friend, so to speak. Somebody named Ovo E or something like that. But why would the girlfriend go back and tell Pusha T anything? If she's not with the guy no more? Is the guy and Drake not homies no more? Are they not best friends anymore? So that part of the story don't make sense to me. Drake's story sounds more like what really happened. But now it's just a whole bunch more talk about it. I'm just like, who really fucking cares right now? Because Drake is still Drake. Yes, he did lose in that battle. I 100% think that he did. But in the grand scheme of things, that was the battle, not the war. So I'm willing to just kind of let the shit go. Hopefully it's done now. Drake got his side out. Pusha T was able to get some, you know, gain some traction from all of that. But at this point, if you're not letting the damn album out, if you're not letting a diss song out, then let it fucking go. That's kind of how I feel about it. What do you guys think, though? Do you believe that story about the girlfriend told Pusha T, and now I don't know, y'all. I got my good eye on that one. It don't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? All right, you guys. Melania Trump's spokesperson has put out a notice that she wants everybody to boycott T.I.'s music. I was like, child, don't nobody listen to T.I. no more. She wants people to boycott him because T.I. released a video where at the beginning of the video there's a Melania Trump look-alike. She walks into this Oval Office, so to speak. She has on that jacket that says, I really don't care, do you? Or something like that. You know, the infamous one that she wore, I believe, when she was visiting the storm victims, or was it when she was in Puerto Rico with the storm? Anyway, remember she had that jacket on. It was just the absolute wrong thing to wear. So the girl in the video has that on. She takes it off. She has nothing underneath. She gets on top of the desk. She's naked. She's dancing in front of T.I., who's sitting back watching her. She's crouched down. I mean, full, you know, nakedness in front of him, dancing and doing all this nastiness. When they get off of the desk, they walk off the camera as if they're about to go do some business. And yeah, so I watched that video, and I must admit that you guys know how much I don't like y'all stupid ass president, right? I thought that the video was very distasteful, and it was wrong. Because if you have a problem with Donald Trump, then you have a problem with Donald Trump. You going after Melania Trump, who, even though she might be aloof and maybe she's not connected with anybody, and you know, she might not be the best first lady, that woman ain't done nothing to you. Melania Trump's biggest crime is the fact that she married Donald Trump. Now, she has showed us countless times that she don't even really see it for the nigga, that she's probably stuck in a marriage that she can't leave. So she shows it in other ways, and we can appreciate that and laugh every time she don't want to hold his hand, she don't want to walk by him or anything like that. I just thought it was wrong of T.I. to come after Melania Trump for something that her fucking husband did. But we see men do this a lot. I would have felt better about it if you would have had, you know, a fucking Donald Trump look-alike, okay, stripping in the damn Oval Office and looking a fool and having Tiny sit at the desk. You know, because you need to go after the actual person, okay, not Melania Trump. He tweets Donald Trump and lets him see the video, and I just thought it was so disrespectful, you know. And I'm not trying to say that I love Melania Trump, that I have, you know, but I just was like, this is not right. And not to forget that T.I. is a male chauvinist, okay? And T.I. has said many things about women, not needing them to be in power, not wanting them to have really much of anything. We've heard many of the conversations that he's had with Tiny. So it's fitting that he would do a video like this. But it's disappointing that he would do something like this. And people who get a kick out of that video, to me, is some ain't really right with you either. I don't have a problem with you going after anybody, man or woman, but they have to be the right target. Melania ain't did nothing to T.I. So, yeah, I wasn't with it. Now, as far as people boycotting T.I., that's not going to happen. Because even if we don't like T.I. too much for some of the things that he does and says, we really hate, you know what, your husband. So, it's not going to happen. But, yeah, I didn't think it was right. What did you guys think about that video? Did you see it? It was a bit much if you was going to be truthful. So they say your girl Tommy from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has managed to get herself arrested again in Cobb County. I was like, damn, this is the second story about Cobb County. She was at her child's middle school, Griffin Middle School. There was some sort of confrontation, and it ended with Tommy slamming her child's head into a locker door. She did this in front of the school officials, so they called the police on her. The police came, and they arrested her. All right, now she did post $27,000 bail, and she's already back out on the streets of ATL. But yeah, I'm just like, what exactly is going on with Tommy? Now, I have really tried to give Tommy passes, not necessarily passes, but I've tried to give her a chance to change, because I realize that Tommy hasn't had the best upbringing. She said that herself. You know, she's dealing with having a lot of more money than she probably was used to having legally. And, you know, it's a big adjustment having to take care of her family and her extended family, and I'm sure a lot of them rely on her for things, so she probably has a lot of pressure on her. So that part I understand. That's why I've tried to give her chances to change. But you can't be at the child's school slamming their head in the locker. Okay, now the story is saying, I read somewhere that it was a son, but I was like, no, I know Tommy don't have any boys, so I'm imagining that it was one of her daughters. And granted, y'all, I have teen children. I ain't never had to slam nobody's head up against a locker door, but your children will take you there. You have to, as a parent, practice some restraint and make better decisions on how you want to discipline your child. Now, I had no problem with disciplining my children, but there are ways to do that without you looking like a fucking maniac, and that you can't control yourself, and that you are definitely trying to hurt them. And slamming their head in locker doors has to line up somewhere up there at the top that, you know, that you didn't need to do it. So even though Tommy might have been very upset with what was going on there, you know, you need to look at the bigger picture. You are a troubled reality show star. You already had a very checkered past. You've been in and out of jail. You've been given an opportunity, a platform. Even if it is Love and Hip Hop, it is still a platform to make some changes. The last time you went to jail because of the last incident, I think the fighting at Lenox Mall, you said you was never going to jail. You was never doing anything like this. You know, you said on the show that people need to give you a chance, and you know, you're going to prove it to everybody, but you just keep on making these kind of decisions. Like, no, Tommy, even if your children are acting out, or they badass kids or whatever, you know, at some point we got to start looking at even that. Like, are your children that way because the environment that they live in? You guys, I'm not trying to point the finger, because there is no perfect mother. There's no way to perfectly parent your children. You can't continue to act this way and think that people will continue to support you. There needs to be some real big changes going on with Tommy and her, you know, her family. Obviously, they need real psychological help. They need to really go to a psychologist and really sit down and really tackle the issues. No, not Iyanla. I don't know how many times y'all gonna watch that damn show before you realize that Iyanla does not fix anything. I know that she's good at what she does. That I've had even people in my comments who were supposedly doctors who said that is a way of, you know, tackling issues psychologically with the people that she speaks with. That confrontational manner that she has. But in my opinion, you know, I won't change my opinion on Iyanla. I won't change my opinion on Iyanla until they have a follow-up show of all of the people that she actually has changed their life and all of the good and the positive things that have happened to them since they sat down with her. Okay, until they have that show, I don't want to hear nothing about Iyanla fixing nobody's fucking life. Because everybody you guys see on her show, they continue on to be a fucking mess. But I digress. Tommy and her family need to go to real psychologists, real doctors that are going to help her get to those issues. But she has to be the one to want to do it. She has to be the one to want to change. She has to understand that people are not going to keep giving her passes. At this point, I just can't, ain't nothing else we can say about Tommy. Yeah, I really do like Tommy. I want it for her, but it's just, girl, it's got to be some changes there. We'll find out more about the story when we get updated. I will let you guys know. Guys, so the cast of The Real was on The Breakfast Club. I thought this story was done and done. It's been said and said. Okay, the particulars, the facts of the case is that Tamar was a fucking mess on the show. The producers didn't like her, so they fired her. Okay, the girls didn't know anything about it. They were blindsided, but they had to move on because they had a job to do on the show. Those are the facts of the damn story, right? Okay, that's all that matters. All the rest is gravy. And I don't really care. I don't even know why 2 years later we still discussing it. I mean, I understand that on the Breakfast Club they asked them about it, but why everybody didn't whip themselves up into a frenzy all over again about this story when it's this old and we done talked about it so much is just beyond me. Do I believe that Towanda gave Lonnie the heads up, about the episode? Yes, I do believe it. I know that Towanda put out a statement or tried to confront Lonnie through Instagram saying that it wasn't true and how much she loves Tamar, but you guys know how that family is, how those girls are. They are fair weather sisters. They love each other one day, they hate each other the next. We just saw Toni say that she loves her family, but she don't like none of them, and that she wouldn't pick any of them to even be her fucking friend if she didn't have to be their damn family member. These girls don't like each other all the time. Towanda could have very much that day bumped into Lonnie, had a hair up her ass, and told her, gave her the heads up. Okay, so yes, I definitely believe it. Lonnie has no reason to lie about something like that. Towanda can say what she wants, but Towanda has, while we talking about Iyanla, why won't nobody ever bring up the fact that Towanda was on a reality show back in 2000? Because I used to watch it. I actually was watching it, I think, as reruns back when I first had Joe. I would be up all fucking night with the little nigga because he would not go to sleep. And I would be watching reruns of Starting Over. It was a reality show. People that had a troubled life, they would go live in this house, and Iyanla was like the house mother, and she would counsel them and try to get them back on the right path. And Towanda was one of the girls that lived there, and Towanda hated her family. As a matter of fact, Towanda, I think, was there because she had shoplifted or something. She had been arrested. I don't know if it was she had stole from somebody in the family. She had stole something. Okay, so she couldn't stand her family. She talked bad about everybody in that family, and Iyanla was trying to help her get back on track. But of course, nobody ever discussed any of that show, Starting Over. And it was like 2000. Show must have been like from the 1999, so like very early in the reality show game. But I won't forget that, and that reminds me now that 20 years later, those feelings might still be the same. So yes, I do believe that Towanda probably told Lonnie something like that. But in the grand scheme of things, it don't really matter because Tamar has gone on with her life, and whatever her career is, whatever she's doing now, and The Real has gone on with their lives, and the show continues on, and so it's just like, why are we still discussing this? Why are we still discussing this? While we're talking about The Real, we can also talk about Jeannie, finally admitting, crying that, when her relationship was over, Freddie was cheating. And again, that's not surprising because, when marriages go bad, that kind of shit happens. I had figured that there was something going on, that he had been cheating, because remember how quickly he got with the new girl and she was pregnant and all of that? I mean, it does happen. You do meet somebody sometimes and it immediately happens back to back to back like that. But most of the times it doesn't. And usually if a man immediately gets with another woman, it's because she's already been there in the wings. So sad, and but I kind of already knew that probably was what it was. And I don't even watch the show, don't know nothing about Jeannie and Freddie. Okay? Only reason why I know that's his name is because y'all left it in my comments. So it's unfortunate for her, but you know what? They're broken up. They're divorced now. He's gone on with his life. She's gone on with hers. Hopefully she can find some happiness with whoever she might settle down with next. If she does, she's better for it without him, because you don't need to be with a man that's having a whole nother relationship with somebody else outside of your marriage. Shit, get off the pot. That's what she did. It's hard. It's hurtful. You have to go through a lot of changes to get yourself back right when your relationship goes bad, and you thought a whole bunch of things about this person, and then you find out that they are nothing like you thought, that it almost was an act. You start second guessing your own self and your decisions, like, fuck, am I that stupid? Like, was that blind to not know that this and that and this and that was going on? I mean, we've been through breakups. I've had those moments where I had to really sit down with myself and just be like, what am I doing where I'm not seeing shit happening right in front of my fucking eyes like this, But once you go through that, you do realize that you went through it for a reason, that you're a better person for it, that you are prepared now for whatever might come your way. That shit you did then, you ain't doing that shit again. So Jeannie gonna be fine. She gonna find her somebody else. She gonna know what the signs are. She gonna get a person that's good to her, and she gonna keep it moving. So that's it. But yeah, that's it on the real, y'all. Well, why are we talking about that still? And then lastly, you guys, in Quickies, rest in peace to Bunny Ranch, Love Ranch, all of those brothels in Nevada. The owner, Dennis Hoff, he was found dead this week after a huge birthday party at the Love Ranch, I believe it was. He went to sleep that night. That next morning, his good friend, former porn star Ron Jeremy, found him dead in his bed. Right now, the police are saying there was no foul play. They just think that the 72-year-old died in his sleep. But like I said, there was a big party the night before, and we don't know what might have happened, throughout that night. So there is an investigation, but they're not expecting that any foul play was involved, or drugs or anything like that. I was just like, well, damn, that was the end of an era. Let me tell you, real sex. That used to be the damn show, and my husband and I used to love the episodes when they would show his brothels, because we just couldn't get over the fact that people were spending thousands of dollars to go fuck women. And I was just like, do you know there's plenty out there who will do it for a whole lot less? Some free? Shit, some will pay you, but they spending all this money to go live in this whole total fantasy and then put it on camera. Now, today is not so innovative and groundbreaking like it was 20 years ago, but it was really something to see. And Real Sex was definitely a show that everybody sat down on Friday and Saturday nights and watched on HBO. So yeah, end of a pimping era. Pimp game was strong when you listen to Dennis Hoff and the things that he would tell his clients and the girls and all that. So yeah, that's it. He's done. 72 years old. Wasn't married, I don't believe. They're saying that Madame Suzette, whoever she might be, she is going to be the woman that now runs the brothels and the Bunny Ranch and the Love Ranch and all of the other places. He had like 5 or 6 businesses. They will all continue to go. But as far as everything else, rest in peace to Dennis Hoff. She by Sheree. Sheree done came out with her line. She done released this damn teaser commercial and tells everybody, to stay tuned, it's coming. And child, when I tell you that the damn commercial is of her kids in her backyard, in her driveway, on her stairway, of them wearing t-shirts and one jogger set. Look, I'm not trying to knock nobody's hustle. Everybody has to fucking start somewhere. But you are Sheree Whitfield. You have been on a successful reality show. I'm not saying that you ought to be able to get these businesses up and popping like Candy and, and Nene and Cynthia and all the rest of them, but damn. The Chitlin Show Circuit fashion line is not the place to be. Okay? I don't know why it's got to be this bootleg, 2 t-shirts and 1 jogger set. Girl, I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board. Why do you keep on releasing little small somethings of something that ain't never come to be and enough for everybody to sit out there and ridicule you? Why don't you wait until you have a real for real business product and plan, okay? And if you need help with the business product and plan, then get it. I mean, fuck, you got Candy. You got Cynthia. They got their businesses. You got all these people on the show that can help you, and you doing shit like this. Us, girl, if you don't cut this shit it's all that shit in slow motion. Everything look better in slow motion. Her son standing there at the pool table like this, and the one in the backyard doing some sort of something, and the other one walking down the stairs. I said, no. That's Instagram boutique start type shit right there. You should be on a whole nother level. So I just, when is it supposed to be coming? Summer, spring, September, something like that? Okay, well, we just gonna stay tuned, but child, y'all know that shit ain't coming out. Prayers up for Yellow Beezy. Now, y'all know I just really found out the gentleman's name just a few nights ago on the BET Awards. But I found out that Yellow Beezy was shot over the weekend out in Louisville, Texas. I think it's Louisville, Texas. They say he was shot 3 times on the highway, that somebody just pulled up on the side of him and, blasted the flat jammy. And I was just like, well, damn, these rappers gonna have to get bulletproof cars at some point. I mean, they are fucking just out there shooting these kids left and right. 19 years old. Ridiculous. They have a video of him watching himself on the BET Awards while he's sitting in his hospital room, hooked up to monitors and machines and everything, a little tear coming down his face. I felt so bad for him. I had no idea that he had been shot. I did remember seeing in the cipher that Erykah Badu actually mentioned him being shot. So then I was just like, when did they record the cipher? Because he just got shot on Sunday, right? Okay, but you don't never know with Erykah Badu. She might have had a premonition. Yeah, prayers up to Yellow Beezy. Hold your head up, young bruh. Okay, these niggas be lying on me. That's on me, baby. That's on me, baby. That's on me, baby. That shit is my jam. But they say he's gonna survive and he'll be back out on the scene soon enough. There's been a trailer released for T.I. and Tiny's new show. Okay, T.I. and Tiny and the Family and Friends hustle. I said, ain't this about a bitch? Tiny and T.I., they trolled us to the maximum. Okay, they didn't have that whole, this is the end of their marriage season and said the show was going off of the air, only to take a year off while T.I. fucked around a little bit and gave Tiny enough time to get out on the road and travel with Escape, and then for them to figure out that they still together. And now they done came back. They basically just took a fucking year off. Now they got a show with friends involved. I said, well played, T.I. and Tiny. That's why I can't get involved in their relationship no more. Anyway, they got a trailer going around right now. And in one of the clips, they have Toya talking to Reginae about how she did not want Reginae to have been with that boy YFN Lucci. And it's because Mr. Lucci is 27 years old to Reginae's 19 years old. He's a rapper, so he's in that life. Toya has much experience with being with rappers, and she wouldn't want that for her daughter. On top of that, he has 4 children. Now, all of this mixed up together, I don't know what mother would want that for their 19-year-old child. So I understand exactly what she's saying. She's not saying she don't like him. She just don't like him for her daughter. Okay, people are all saying that, Reginae is an adult. She can date who she wants. Okay, people date people 10, 11, 12 years older, and that's all very much true. But you guys have to compare a 19-year-old maturity level to a 27-year-old maturity level, even though Reginae seems to be quite advanced. But still, there's a level of greenness there. It's not the same as a 25-year-old dating a 35-year-old. okay, or a 33-year-old, then you can see something like this. But a 19-year-old fresh out of high school dating somebody that's about to go to their 10-year fucking high school reunion, there's a difference there. And he's got 4 kids. Okay, YFN Lucius did quite a bit of living. Reginae doesn't, that's not what she has seen, and doesn't need to rush into anything like that. Okay, you might be baby mama with baby number 5. Like, no. So, I mean, I understand totally what Toya's saying. I mean, she's not saying that her daughter can't date him, because she can't do that. But yeah, she has every right to voice her opinion about that relationship. I would have a problem with it too. People want to know if I agree with Remy Ma about the N-word and the fact that non-black people, everybody should be able to use it. Do I agree? Absolutely not. Okay, now I've told you guys plenty of times that is our word, and even though the word might be problematic, damn it, it's our fucking word. So let us decide collectively if we gonna stop saying the word altogether. As far as anybody else outside of our group, and I'm meaning black people, no, I don't want to hear you say nigga. Okay, you know why? Because I'm not gonna never be able to tell 100% if you mean that in a, my nigga, like in a good way, or in a racial bad, fuck you nigger kind of way. I just don't even want to have to sit there and try to decide what you mean. So it's best that you don't say the shit at all. And like I said, it's debatable whether or not we should or shouldn't say nigga. Okay, I know there's plenty of people, every time I say it, people say, Roxanne, you need to stop saying that word. And yeah, maybe God ain't finished working with me, and maybe I might get to that point. But I know good and damn well I definitely don't want to see nobody white saying it. So do I agree with Remy Ma? Absolutely not. If you white, please don't say that word around me. It's gonna be some problems. And lastly, you guys, the almost $1 billion lotto. You guys get your tickets, even though I am gonna win. I think the next drawing is tomorrow. It should be right at about $1 billion by tomorrow. I think the Powerball is way up there too, somewhere around $650 million. I mean, it's a whole bunch of money to be had. Nobody wins because it's too many fucking numbers. They, added all those numbers to the lineup, and now it's even harder to get the combination. But like I said, I'm going to win it this weekend. But you know what? Because I love the rock stars so much, I mean, if one of you guys do happen to get the same numbers that I get, and we have to split it and win together, then I'm all for that too. Why don't you guys tell me what you would do with almost $1 billion if you were to win? Y'all put down in the comments. Let's have a little fun and talk about what we would do with $1 billion damn dollars. Child, I know I would have a heart attack. I'd be up in somebody's hospital. Nigga, when I won $1,000 in Vegas one time, I almost had like a conniption, like I couldn't breathe and shit. I started itching real bad and sweating. $1,000, $1 billion. Yes, your girl would need medical attention. So, but if y'all don't see me on Monday, you know why. I'm finna win this lotto real fast. Rock stars, that's it. Let me get off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.